Kansas won over Wagner yesterday in a blowout as they won 46-7, just like they were supposed to do. Scored 14 unanswered and made it 29 unanswered, and 7 was that Jaden Daniels scored 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. It was a rout. Kansas wins 46-7. Kansas moves to 2-0. They've got the Columbia matchup in Columbia this weekend, or this upcoming weekend. Baylor and Auburn. Auburn wins 38-24. It was 17-3. Auburn. Baylor made it 17-10, but Auburn responded right back with a touchdown to make it 24-10. Baylor touchdown to make it 24-17. Baylor would get close in the fourth quarter, but Auburn would win the game and with 4:32 to go. Touchdown Auburn. Baylor had a chance to come back with another touchdown and make it close, but they did not. That was your final score, 38-24. And the other one, Georgia Tech, Colorado. Georgia Tech moves to 1-0 as they tied on a touchdown as Colorado 2020. Heinz King runs a 45-yard run to give them the lead 27-20. To give them the game 27-20. Kansas State will kick off its game against North Dakota State. Kansas State head-to-head history in Kansas State Wildcats versus North Dakota Fighting Hawks. University of North Dakota. It's North Dakota, not North Dakota State. Why not against North Dakota State? The under opponent must be North Dakota State. Is production easy to mix up? Important matchup against North Dakota State occurred in 2013 and isn't part of the Kansas State schedule. Kansas State beat North Dakota State barely 24-21 as they have an outstanding team. That was back in 2013. That game kicks off at 6. Another game will be Ohio State and Texas meet up again. This finished in a season semifinals. Ohio State won over Texas 28-14. Now Texas looks better. Archie Manning in one of the most hyped seasons. Oddmakers have Ohio State as the... Ohio State is the favorite by 1.5, but most sports experts have Texas winning. SI spread as 2.5 for Texas to win. BetGM line shows similar. Some placing Ohio State as minus 2.5. Quarterback might be the key play as Archie Manning makes his debut tomorrow at 11. LSU will square off against Clemson, pitting two teams for the Tigers opener. Clemson ranked 4th in the most returns, and veteran quarterback Cade Kubiak, and who's known as early Heisman conversation, number 9 in the country, senior quarterback Garnett Newsman had 4,000 yards in 2024 in the nation's number 1 transfer porting class. Odds makers, Clemson slight favorite at home, edge 3.5. Experts seemingly lowering defensive battle. Still, LSU's offensive upgrades, and spoiler, they could be really good and make the playoffs and win the national championship, some people say. An LSU season preview, head coach Brian Kelly entering his 4th year as an expectations playoff berth. Expectations outlook, this is do or die after a solid, spectacular year. Kelly, LSU invested in transfers in ISPL, spending $18 million and push towards the title. Season opener will Clemson likely be a momentum of the year. That game kicks off tomorrow at 6:30. Key players, quarterback Gutton Nussmeier, Heisman considered. Defensive end Patrick Payton, Florida State, boost push rushers, offensive line rebuilding support, and running game. Wide receiver spread, corpse mixes, returning talent, additional to depth. Projection, experts like 24/7 Sports, CFN predicts with 10-2 playoff chances and critical. Bottom line, LSU has talented coaching, making him a serious playoff 10 contender, but consistency will be a big game who could set a stage for a breakout season. Other games in the top 25. Syracuse will play Tennessee 11 a.m. tomorrow. On Fox Sports 1, Indiana, number 20, will play Old Dominion at 1:30 on Fox Sports 1 again. Penn State will play Nevada, number 2, 2:30 p.m. on CBS-Paramount. Georgia, number 5, will play Marshall, 2:30 ESPN. Florida State will play Alabama. That will be a good one, 2:30 ESPN. South Dakota State will play Iowa State, 2:30 ESPN. Iowa State got the win over Kansas State. Oregon and Montana State. Oregon is number 7, Bentig Network. Oklahoma and Illinois State, number 18, 5 p.m. Long Island versus Florida, 6 p.m. SEC Network, ESPN+. North Dakota State and Kansas State, we talked about that one, 6 p.m. ESPN+. UTSA and Texas A&M. Texas A&M is 19th. That game kicks at 6. That game again kicks at 6 against North Dakota State. LSU and Clemson. LSU number 9, number 4 Clemson, 6:30 ABC at Clemson. Mexico will play Michigan. Michigan number 14, 6:30 NBC. Arkansas Pine Bluff will play Texas Tech. Texas Tech to host number 23 ESPN+. We'll get more into this tomorrow as we preview another Big 12 SEC team on Sunday or maybe tomorrow, depending on what time you're running in it right now. SMU's number 16 will play Eastern Texas A&M, 8 o'clock ACC Network. Number 11, Arizona State will play Saturday, 9 o'clock. We'll preview Virginia Tech and South Carolina to play tomorrow at Sunday at 2 o'clock. We'll talk more about that. And at number 6, Notre Dame will play number 10, Miami, 6:30 p.m. ABC. On our next team, LSU 2025 season MVP preview. Head coach Brian Kelly entered his 4th year and has high expectations for the college football game, expecting a playoff berth. Expectations look like this is a do-or-die season for their solid but not spectacular years under Kelly. LSU invested heavily in Kelly, NIL spending $18 million pushing towards a title. Season opener at Clemson will likely define momentum for the year. This game kicks off tonight. Scheduled with the 11th nationally key, ranked 11th toughest schedule nationally. Key games include Clemson, Alabama, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, and Florida. Key players: quarterback Garrett Nussum, Heisman candidate, lead offense. Defensive end Patrick Patton, transfer from Florida State. Pass rush, boost to pass rush. Offensive line, rebuilding to support quarterback running the game. Wide receiver, corpse returning talent with new traditions to replace departed stars. Projections, experts like 24/7 and CFN predicts 10-2 with a playoff chance if LSU wins critical matchups earlier. Bottom line, LSU has the talent and coaching to make a serious college football run, but consistently is the key. Early big games, wins, could set stage for a breakout season. LSU season schedule looks like this. LSU will play Ohio State today at 11 here in a little bit. September 6th, LSU will play versus Louisiana Tech, kick at 6:30. September 13th, LSU will play versus Florida, 6:30 p.m. Central. September 20th, Saturday, LSU will play Southeastern Louisiana, Saturday, September 27th, LSU play Ole Miss. That is their second away game. LSU play at Clemson today at 6:30. LSU versus Ole Miss at Ole Miss. LSU, October 11th, Saturday. LSU versus South Carolina. Saturday, October 18th, LSU versus Texas versus Vanderbilt. Saturday, October 25th, LSU versus Texas A&M. And November 8th, Saturday, LSU versus Alabama at Alabama. And LSU at Vanderbilt on October 18th. LSU versus South Carolina home. LSU versus Texas A&M home. LSU Saturday, November 15th versus Arkansas. Saturday, November 22nd, LSU plays Western Kentucky. Saturday, November 29th, LSU plays Oklahoma, TBA. This is Sam Vaughn, First Hand Sports Report.